I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here in the Hub Culture Pavilion in Davos. Very pleased to be joined by Anthony Hobley, incoming CEO of Carbon Tracker. So
That's
tell
right.
me, what's your message here in Davos?
Well, I think we're here as financial experts to sort of translate the risk of climate into financial language, that it is a financial risk, in that we simply cannot burn the vast majority of the oil, gas and coal reserves, because if we do, we will not meet the 2-degree target, we'll go above that and we'll have catastrophic climate change. So that means that many of the oil, gas and coal reserves, have the potential to be stranded assets, and that's important to the people who own those companies, the pension funds, because if we don't manage that issue and we have regulation overnight, then those assets the value of those assets could be considerably diminished, and therefore the companies and the financial markets.
So you're calling this the potential subprime crisis, is that right?
Yes, the new subprime. I mean, if it's not managed. And I think the frustrating thing is that we have a lot more evidence of climate change and a lot more people who are talking about it than we did about the subprime crisis. Yet we're still in effect not responding.
What about Shale? A lot of discussion in the UK, where I know you and I are both based, about that could be the answer. What's your view on that?
All depends on carbon intensity. There is still a significant amount of fossil fuels that we can burn, and some fossil fuels have a lower carbon intensity than others. So coal, for example, is probably one of the most carbon intensive. Gas could be an effective transition fuel. The danger is that you lock in yet another problem. So if you can develop a transition to clean energy using gas as the transition fuel, then I think gas is a good thing, provided those companies sort of see it in that way, and they see themselves as partners of this sort of low carbon transition and of the low carbon technologies such as renewables.
So where in your ideal world is the energy coming from? Does it include nuclear?
Well, I think what's interesting about nuclear is the fact that it's split the climate, so it split the environmental movement in many places. I think many environmentalists are probably not enthusiastic about nuclear, but they would see nuclear as the lesser evil. I mean, on the basis that runaway climate change, which is the path we're onto at the moment, 4 to 6 degrees, is potentially an existential threat. And if you have an existential threat, that is it's very difficult then to manage many of the issues we have. Whereas nuclear, yes, provides a long-term environmental problem, but you still have a system, a civilization, an economy capable of managing that risk in the longer term. So it's not ideal, but it may be. We're still around to deal with it.
Great. Thank you so much for stopping into the Hub Culture Pavilion here in Davos, and I'm Edie Lush.